On a frigid morning in Milan, Italy, a young woman stands on the ice, her heart racing, the world holding its breath. She is Alysa Liu, just 20 years old, and on February 20th, 2026, she will become the first American woman in 24 years to capture Olympic gold in figure skating. As the music fades and the scores glow on the screen, she raises her hands in triumph, a radiant smile illuminating her face. But behind that moment of glory lies a story woven through hardship and sacrifice. Alysa's journey begins with her father, Alysa Liu, who fled China in 1989 as a student protest leader. One dark night, he climbed onto a small boat, crossing the treacherous sea to Hong Kong, then onward to America. With nothing but his freedom and unwavering determination, he rebuilt his life from the ground. Arthur became an immigration lawyer, helping refugees find safety in the very land he now called home. For decades, he boldly spoke out against the Chinese government, making him a target and putting his family at risk. But first, he longed to create a family of his own. In his 40s, he made a choice that defied tradition, becoming a single father through modern medical technology. Over the years, Arthur welcomed 5 children into his life, and on August 8, 2005, Alysa was born. Their home was filled with laughter and love, but also the weight of her father's past. When Alysa revealed her talent for skating, Arthur recognized it immediately. He poured everything into her dreams: time, money, energy. "I spared no money, no time," he invested between $500,000 and $1 million into her skating career, betting everything on his daughter's future. The child who had once crossed an ocean seeking a better life was now risking it all for a dream on ice. But nothing could prepare Arthur for the day Alysa first. It was 2010 in San Francisco, a warm morning. Alysa, just 5 years old, stepped nervously onto the ice for the first time. The moment her skates touched the surface, a spark ignited within her. She fell, laughed, and rose again, gaining speed with every glide. By 7, she trained seriously. By 10, she was. At 13, Alysa shattered records, becoming the youngest woman to win the U.S. National Figure Skating Championship, and the first American woman to land a quadruple Lutz jump in competition. With 4 rotations in the air, she spun faster than a ceiling fan. While most 13-year-olds worried about school, Alysa was making history. But behind the accolades lay an unseen burden. The world of elite figure skating is unforgiving. At 13 and 14, Alysa trained relentlessly, facing strict diets and constant scrutiny. The joy of skating morphed into a heavy responsibility. "Skating feels more like a burden," she admitted. As she turned 16, the pressure intensified. In late 2021, the FBI contacted Arthur with a chilling warning. Their family was under surveillance by Chinese agents. Disguised as U.S. Olympic officials, agents pressured him for Alysa's passport information. Suspicious, he refused. Arthur shielded Alysa from the looming danger as she prepared for the 2022 Beijing Olympics, carrying that burden alone. When Alysa arrived in Beijing, she unknowingly entered the heart of a country that had once forced her father to flee. One eerie morning, an unfamiliar man approached her in the Olympic Village. Alysa competed and finished 7th, but the weight of unspoken fears and sacrifices became unbearable. What happened next sent shockwaves through the figure skating world. At just 16, Alysa Liu made the bold decision to step away from the sport that had She threw her skates into the closet and embraced a new chapter, starting college at UCLA. For the first time, she experienced life outside the rink, going out with friends, watching movies, and even trying skiing, a sport she had never been allowed to pursue. Her coaches were stunned, but Alysa understood what she needed. The sport had transformed into a cage, not a stage, and she chose her own happiness. This rare act of self-knowledge took immense courage, a strength more profound than any quadruple jump. As she delved into psychology at UCLA, Alysa began to rediscover herself and what skating truly meant to her. 2 years later, a pivotal moment arrived on a ski slope. During a trip flying down the mountain, she felt a long-forgotten rush of joy. That feeling called her back to the ice, but this time on her own terms. She set her own rules, her own training regimen, embracing a newfound freedom. Unexpectedly, she revealed she had ADHD, a condition often misunderstood. For Alysa, it was not a weakness but a secret weapon, fueling her excitement for the sport. Her coach and others expressed doubt, but Alysa forged ahead unyielding. She entered the 2025 World Championships and, against all odds, became the first American woman to win the title since 2006. And then came February 20th, 2026. The venue in Milan buzzed with anticipation, the arena bright and cold. Alysa, now a college student, stood at the center of the ice. After a strong short program, she was in third place, the gold still uncertain. As her music ignited, she moved into the first jump. The arena held its breath as she executed the rotation flawlessly. The crowd erupted as she landed. The deafening Alysa soared across the ice, spinning and flying with grace. When the scores appeared, the moment crystallized: 226, 79 points, first place, gold medal. In that instant, the world celebrated not just a champion, but a young woman who had transformed her story against. Alysa Liu, the daughter of a refugee, the girl who once walked away, returns as an Olympic champion. Calm and serene, she smiles, saying, "When I am enjoying my performance, the result does not matter, but I am very happy with the result today." With a gold medal around her neck, she conveys a profound truth. She skated not for the outcome, but for the pure joy of it. Yet this story holds deeper layers, often overlooked by the world of sports. Alysa's victory was more than personal, it resonated as a political statement. Picture this. Before the 2022 Beijing Olympics, the Chinese government approached Alysa Liu with an enticing offer. They wanted Alysa to compete for China, promising riches and benefits. His answer was immediate, resolute. "I will not sacrifice my dignity. No matter how much they offer, it will not happen." Alysa Liu had escaped China, risking everything for freedom. To send his daughter back to the very government that sought to silence him was unthinkable. This decision sparked a significant contrast in the realm of modern sports. Alysa Liu versus Eileen Gu. Eileen, also born in California and of Chinese descent, made a different choice. She chose to compete for China, rising to fame with magazine covers and brand deals. The Chinese government embraced her as a symbol of national pride, showcasing that talented Chinese Americans could. In contrast, Alysa made her statement not through speeches, but through her performances. She skated for America, for herself, and for her father's quest for freedom. Analysts noted this as a proxy war, a symbolic clash representing two identities of being American Chinese today. Two girls from the same city, yet they answered the question of identity. In Alysa's answer came on the ice. After winning the gold, she gained over 5.68 million new social media followers, a staggering increase of 1,856% in mere days. Celebrities like Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez publicly cheered for her. A new phrase emerged, Alysa Liu Core, a philosophy of living authentically. It encouraged doing things on one's own terms. Return to the arena in Milan, where cold air mingles with bright lights and the ice glistens beneath Alysa's blades. Initially, we were captivated by the girl holding a gold medal, but now we see the entirety of her journey. We witness Alysa Liu on a dark boat, crossing an unforgiving sea with nothing. We see a 5-year-old girl laughing on the ice, falling and rising with resilience. We remember a 16-year-old throwing her skates into a closet, choosing to breathe, then lacing them up again, not out of obligation but drawn back by joy. Alysa's story transcends skating. It embodies a different freedom. Not the freedom her father sought, but the freedom to know oneself, to recognize when something isn't working, to pause, and to return for one's Her father crossed a dark sea for freedom. Alysa traversed the darkness within, the struggle of lost joy, emerging radiant with gold. Two journeys, yet both lead to the same destination, freedom. She once shared a thought that resonates deeply. "If my life were a movie, the main character would have to be my father, because everything only happened." Now both names are known. A man who chose freedom and a daughter who proved his choice was worthwhile on a global stage. Next time something you love feels burdensome, remember Alysa. Stepping back isn't surrender. Sometimes it marks the beginning of a profound chapter. We all have our own ice, our arena, our moment when the music begins and lights blaze. The question is not whether we will stumble, but whether we are skating for joy or merely for a score. Alysa Liu chose joy, and in that choice one last image lingers. A small boat on a dark sea, a young man choosing freedom above all else. 30 years later, his daughter glides on ice in Milan under the brightest lights of the world. She skated not to prove herself, but because she wanted to, because joy was finally hers. That is the essence of this story, captured in two contrasting images, a life forged by courage, his and hers. Skate for joy and the gold will